From Innocence to Redemption, A Journey of Healing and Forgiveness. Childhood innocence and early influences. Born into a lower-middle-class family, my early years were marked by a deep immersion in religious practices. My parents insisted on attending Sunday school, where the kindness and goodness of my teachers left a profound impact on me. Their actions, more than the biblical texts, shaped my understanding of morality. The Bible, with its complex language and seemingly harsh narratives, was beyond my comprehension as a child. Instead, I strived to emulate the goodness and kindness I witnessed in my teachers. The loss of innocence. At the age of 12, my world was shattered by a traumatic event that marked the end of my mental, emotional, and spiritual innocence. A smaller boy began kicking me in the schoolyard. Desperate to stop him, I searched for words, but found none that would halt his actions. When I finally defended myself by kicking him back, a teacher witnessed the incident. Instead of understanding my predicament, she labeled me a bully and declared that I would never amount to any good. Overwhelmed by emotional distress, I couldn't defend myself against her harsh judgment. The aftermath: fear, shame, and isolation. From that day, fear, hurt, shame, and guilt took root in my heart. I built walls around myself, retreating into a comfort zone where I felt safe from those painful emotions. The trauma of that incident lingered, and I was terrified of re-experiencing those feelings. When I reached the legal drinking age, I turned to alcohol as a means of coping. It allowed me to socialize without the fear of shame and hurt, but as my drinking intensified, the buried emotions surfaced, not as anger, but as deep despair. This despair seemed to emanate from an empty pit in my stomach, a constant presence throughout my years of drinking. Finding success amidst struggles. Despite my struggles, I managed to achieve success in life. I developed the ability to close doors on painful experiences and open new ones, each time finding better opportunities. However, the burden of unresolved emotions remained, leading me to a point where the despair became unbearable. At one point, I came dangerously close to suicide. It was then that I sought help from mental health programs, which encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone. Engaging in activities like hang gliding, skydiving, CN Tower edge walk, and hot air ballooning, I began to reclaim parts of myself. I also organized fundraisers for mental health institutions, finding purpose in helping others. A new chapter: the journey to sobriety and healing. I continued drinking until the age of 65, marking 45 years of alcohol dependency. When cannabis became legal, I decided to try it and eventually switched to cannabis brownies. These brownies had an unexpected effect. They allowed me to revisit and process the memories and emotions from the day of the verbal abuse. I delved deep into the hurt, shame, and guilt I felt, understanding for the first time that these emotions were not truly mine. They were a reflection of the abuser's own hurt, shame, and guilt, a cycle perpetuated through generations. The path to forgiveness and redemption. Realizing this, I began the journey of self-forgiveness. I forgave myself for that first incident of abuse and traced the evolution of my life from that point. In doing so, I discovered numerous blessings that had come my way. Forgiving myself not only brought me inner peace but also strengthened my connection with Jesus. I found that Jesus had always been with me, standing outside my mental, emotional, and spiritual pain. Through forgiveness, I experienced a profound sense of peace, freedom, and joy that I hadn't felt since childhood. Conclusion. My journey from childhood innocence to redemption has been one of immense struggle and profound healing. By confronting my past, understanding the roots of my pain, and embracing self-forgiveness, I have broken free from the cycle of hurt, shame, and guilt. Today, I live with a sense of peace and joy, knowing that I am no longer defined by my past, but by the strength and resilience I have found within myself.